when you enter into a blank canvas, you enter into the unknown, but you still take yourself there. And you yourself is the key to all things. Peace and blessed Thursday. So I wanted to do this video today on the imposter syndrome and how if you aren't recognizing the spaces in which you're using imposter syndrome, you're going to miss out on certain experiences in your life. And the reason why I'm all dressed up like this, because we're going to go over a few things. One, imposter syndrome and what's keeping us from being able to live our lives to the fullest and be our true and authentic and freest selves. And then two, my OnlyFans in the van and why I'm choosing to begin to dive into this direction and for what purpose. So, number one, imposter syndrome. There are many things in this life that have programmed us to make us believe, which is not truth, to make us believe that we are in this space of not feeling worthy enough to dive into the path that we enjoy for ourselves, specifically for women, I will say, our femininity, our sexuality, our sensuality. And we've harbored some of that energy of expression because of how people will judge us and how people are being judged for them being authentic and beautiful and showing themselves. I was watching this video the other day of a lady who she does a lot of stretching, and no, she's not in the fittest shape as we would look as fit to be. And a lot of people get on her because of her stomach. Mind you, she's had children, but she flaunts her body flawlessly with confidence. And there's this space where people are judging her because her belly is not acceptable to them. In this life, we all came here with free will. Hold on a minute. It's my cat moving my tripod. So we all came here with free will, and we all have the right to be and express ourselves the way that we feel fit that is going to serve our souls. And no matter how you choose to express this part of you, which is art, you are always going to have people who are going to feel extremely uncomfortable because they themselves can't find the freedom to release themselves out of the mental shackles that they've placed that doesn't allow them to be as free, which has nothing to do with you and it has nothing to do with me. And I'm saying this because through my experience, I've always been a very sensual woman. If I could be naked all day, I would. If I can just be in lingerie all day, I would. But there's also this space where we, to some extent, cannot just be that free. However, that should never allow you, it should never allow you to not express yourself, and to suppress those aspects of yourself, because that is what your soul is desiring. That is what your soul delights in. And the more that we begin to live in this imposter syndrome of worrying what other people are going to say, or even our own doubts and lack of self-worth, then we are in a very small, invisible box. That is not what we are. That is not what we came here to be. We came here to be expansive. We came here to be enormous in our energy, to expand our energy. And however that looks for whoever, And so, yeah, that's something for myself that I'm getting out of because I was judging myself. And as I transition this video into the OnlyFans aspect, I'm living van life and it's been a beautiful experience. I've enjoyed it. It's been going on 3 years. I currently work remote and I've been able to do this specifically for personal reasons as well. But I'm getting into this space where I want to fully know what it's like to embrace being sovereign and only depending on me. Not to say that a job is not something that isn't a part of your journey that's you're being dependent upon, but I mean where I wake up every day not to an alarm, not having to have being questioned about what's going on. Where is this at? When is this coming in? Did you do this already? I want to be able to wake up in my meditations. I want to be able to wake up and go work out. I want to be able to wake up and get on some content. And I just want my world to be about me. Everything that is in my cipher, including a 9 to 5, is about me. But I've created that reality for myself that includes that because I'm putting my energy into that. I'm focusing my energy on that. I'm dependent upon that. So it ends up happening. It's not to say that it's not impossible, but now you have to ask yourself, where are we going to put our energy into next? Well, how are we going to fashion this new field, this energetic field of ourselves where we get to experience something different? And this is where alchemy and creation for your life comes in. Because we're constantly in this robotic schedule every single day, you're telling your subconscious mind that this is what we are going to do from now on. And it submits. It honors everything you want it to be and do and say and have. So to get yourself into a new reality and to get myself into a new reality, it's about putting your energy now into something brand new and to begin to create from here, and from here, which to me is the 3 most important aspects of oneself: the mind, pineal gland, and the heart. The mind is where the thoughts are. Pineal gland is where you pierce your light into that reality. And your heart is where it all starts to be created from because you feel it to be true for yourself. And that's just where I'm at. I am 46 and I want to know what it's like to completely be free from any type of corporate environment whatsoever. And it's going to require myself to program my subconscious mind into this new reality. And it's putting that energy in there. It's telling your story. Even if it is, even though it may seem like it's delusional because you're talking in the present moment as if it has already happened. People are going to be like, but where? Trust me, it's there. And so, yeah, I just, for myself, want to engage more into my expression of sensuality and sexuality because most times it's deemed as something a woman should not do. And I am a very rebellious spirit. And I am also a rebellious spirit in my own life. And I just want to know what it feels like. I haven't been able to truly focus myself 100% in this and really be able to intentionally see where my energy is going and how it's being created. I've done bits and pieces and I've seen it come to fruition, such as my van life. I talked about it for a good amount, year and a half before it actually came about. But it required me to unknowingly but knowingly move from Atlanta to Tampa to get this van, to begin to start. So I think that's another thing that's important, that even though we're in this space of wanting to, align ourselves to another reality, you have to be able to know when the signs are there for you to move and to not make moves in scarcity, because it's in those moments of being detached from a current experience or reality that you're going to need to embrace in order to get there. So it's all about how willing are you able to go within yourself, and how far within the abyss are you willing to take yourself in order to really see how far you can go, and so that's that, which I think is the most important part, is being able to recognize which aspect of yourself you are using this imposter syndrome to not evolve. And the next part, so as I said in my other video previously, I've really been procrastinating on my OnlyFans, and it has been because of the imposter syndrome. Is anybody going to even care about my Instagram because I'm living van life? How could I possibly, and these are all questions that I asked myself, right? How could I possibly be successful while I'm living van life? Like, this is what the mind does. It creates scenarios that hasn't even happened. And then this is where we begin to lose sight of being expansive, because the mind plays all of these fuckery and trickery games to make it seem like you are not worthy to do this. Let me tell you, I've really been doing some searching on women who are expressing outwardly that are living van life and who are doing OnlyFans. It is very rare. Not to say that they're not doing it, but it might be something that is being cloaked for other people to not see, which is okay, right? So if you type it up, there's only going to be like a couple of people that are truly actually living van life, doing OnlyFans, and making that like, this is me in all of my totality, and whoever likes it, and whoever doesn't, doesn't. And for me, that is a beautiful thing, because that makes space for me to be able to invest in joy and to create a niche out of this. I think one of the most beautiful things above all is me opening up this portal of the unknown. And I think that's oftentimes how we need to view ourselves, is it's okay to have aspects of yourself in the unknown, but as long as you enter in, that's all that matters. While you're in that portal of the unknown, that is when you begin to find your true self, because it's not a program. When you're not living in a program, that is when you find your true self. And so, I look at it as, let's say you're in a home that you're used to, right? 4 walls, a bathroom, your bed. You literally could probably see that shit in the evening time and still be able to know where you're going without a problem. The unknown is walking into a blank canvas of yourself, having the lights switched off and trying to figure the shit out while you're there. But the beautiful thing is, hold on a minute. Okay, I've literally been trying to record the rest of this video for like 30 minutes because the guys are in the back doing the bushes and stuff. So, this is the part of living van life and trying to be sexy. So, yeah, as I was saying, when you enter into a blank canvas, you enter into the unknown, but you still take yourself there. And you yourself is the key to all things. So there is no reason to be fearful or scared of stepping into the unknown of oneself, because then that's where change and growth really resides. And so, yeah, so for me, I just want to embrace being my seductive and sensual self. And, so doing OnlyFans in the van, which is a really cute name, by the way, one, if we can just step out of the minute thinking of things and really look at things in a macro space, it allows me to stay connected to my divinity. And not that the divinity is ever detached, but sometimes we dumb it down. And it's not that it's not there, and it's not that like it's already bright by itself, but we dumb it down with thinking that we're not enough. You know what I mean? And when you're in those thoughts, then you have detached yourself from your own truth, which is you are an infinite being with limitless possibilities. I am an infinite being with limitless possibilities. We came here with free will. We are art in our bodies, our expressions, and that's something that we should all be delighting in. And I think that was basically the whole point from the jump, is dumbing down and programming people to think less than that. And so you really have to kind of emerge like the lotus flower to be able to see yourself as beauty, even though there might be mire and mud attached to the experience, and that's just where I'm at. And so doing OnlyFans in the van, as I mentioned, it allows me to connect myself to my femininity and sexuality and sensuality, which is where I love to be. It also allows me to be able to travel the way that I desire to. It allows me, this is the macro thinking now, it allows me when I'm on my cycle to be able to remain in the van away from people, which has been beautiful. I have actually noticed that because I do grounding a lot when I take Lilith, which is my kitty, for a walk, my periods went from 7 days a week to now about 4. And, it's just been, and they have been coming every 2 weeks, but I think that's more of that kind of like menopause shit. But I'm noticing that being in my van, being with my own energy, being intentional with it, and harnessing, the depths of myself are really aligning myself with my body. There's a realignment in everything. And when you're off kilter, sometimes your body's going to have to realign itself when you begin a different program, when you begin a different reality for yourself, and tapping into that energy of it. And so I'm just tired of feeling like, what are they going to think? How is it going to be portrayed? What is it? No. If people want to feel good in a way that I don't have to be touched, and I can still make money off of it, and I can travel, and I can still be in my essence, and I'm able to get into my meditations, and I'm able to work out on my own schedule, and I'm able to come and go as I please, why not? What is wrong with that? You know? Why do we think that there is something wrong with that? But we have no problem slaving in an office 9 to 5 every day with fake ass lights that's there to drain your energy, people around you draining your energy, and you have no life. You go in, you do that, you come home, you don't have the energy for anything. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't. And if I don't have to be on the wall of suffering, and I don't have to choose that anymore, which has always been a choice, I just was programmed into thinking that there wasn't one. But things have shifted, things have changed, and there is no, as I say, shame in the game. Enjoy your life to the fullest. And if you have to use a certain platform in order to get yourself to the future self that you see yourself as without the struggle, without having to, give a piece of yourself that you just don't want to give anymore, do it. Just do it. Nike's right. Just do it. Just fucking do it. And know that you are worthy, and know that there's 8 to 9 billion people in this world. Just think about it. If you could only have, give me a minute, because your girl ain't let's just say out of the 9 billion, 8 billion people, right? You get 1,000 subscribers at $35 a month. But you got to be consistent. You got to give them content. You have to use this as a business. You have to have the business mind frame, just like you're consistent every day with picking out your clothes, setting your alarm, getting your breakfast before you go to work, sit there for 8 hours. That same energy, that same consistency, you still have to put into yourself. It is not an easy road because you have to deal with content, you have to deal with editing, you have to get up and do this. But because we think it's easier, right? We really do. We think that it's easier to live a 9 to 5 because it's routine. It's something that you're programmed to do. So subconsciously, you're already in that groove. But you can be in that same groove after you've created a new pattern within your subconscious mind saying that this is the new reality I need you to program myself in. This is the new reality that we are in. And then you're going to feel that same energy, that same consistency for yourself, which, to be honest with you, should be in the forefront anyway, above all things. Okay. 1,000 subscribers, mind you, 9 billion people. You're going to have at least 1,000 people who love who the fuck you are. All right. Times $35. That's how much I charge for my subscription. That's just subscribing. That doesn't include the pay-per-views. That doesn't include, whatever people want to pay for private content. That is just subscribing to your channel. That's $35,000 a month. 1,000 subscribers, 9 billion people in the world, and you don't think 1,000 of these people will be committed to you? What's the guy that says, you got to think big? You're thinking small, bitch. You're thinking motherfucking small. Yes, you got to think big. And I look at this number all the time and I'm just like, girl, enough. Enough of the imposter syndrome. Enough of thinking that you are not enough. So consistency, the way that I wake up every day and have to work, doing my remote work that I give to everybody else, I got to put that same consistency into myself. And that begins today. And I hope that this video encourages you to step in to what's not lost, but what is hidden, which is your most powerful superpower of your femininity, your sexuality, and your sensuality. All of that. Just because a woman gives birth to a child does not mean that that's the only thing that she gives birth onto. She gives birth onto worlds. Worlds. Seeds are planted in your womb every single day by your thought process. You give birth onto that every single day, depending on the season. Think about that. Why don't you feel that you deserve it? You'll spend 9 months with the baby inside of you to give birth onto that and sacrifice certain things for it. Why won't you sacrifice giving birth onto the things that you truly enjoy in your life? But is it really a sacrifice or is it just beautiful creation? So, time to create a video for OnlyFans. And you can catch me on my Instagram at The Erotic Enigma. Also, my OnlyFans, The Erotic Enigma. And I will be able to, I'll post the links in my description this time for my YouTube page. And there is no shame in the life that you want to live. Remember, you are an infinite being with limitless possibilities, and everything that you want to do in your life is attainable. You just have to know it, and you have to feel it, most importantly. Let's create a new reality with the subconscious mind. Peace.